Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. Thanks for watching today. YouTube TV, listening on Sirius XM channel 158 or any of the affiliates that we have from coast to coast. We're live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino, and we have Red Sox Yankees, huge playoff game. First pitch coming up in 8 minutes, and to talk about it with us right now, we head out to the Progressive Guest Line, and the great Matt Vasgersian joins the program. He's going to be on MLB Network during these games live a little bit later on tonight. Good afternoon, Matt. Thanks for the time today, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, good, guys. Always good to chat a little baseball with you. These are the best days of the year for me because you get the opening of the postseason today, and tomorrow we get 4 elimination games. Mm-hmm. It's just the theater is it's through the roof. I love it. Absolutely.
So what do you make of this? The money line on the Yankees Red Sox, phenomenal pitching matchup. Crochet was fantastic against the Pinstripers this year, but Fried also had good numbers against the Red Sox, and you can get Crochet as a dog around the plus 120 range as it starts here in about 7 minutes now. What do you think?
I don't think for anybody that likes to jump in on these things, I don't think it's playable until you get to the bullpens. I mean, I don't expect the same way the first 2 games have gone today. What we get a total of 7 runs scored in 2 games today. So under buyers were cashing pretty happily. I don't think there's going to be a lot of action on base against either one of these guys. Fried's numbers have been phenomenal. Crochet, as you mentioned, phenomenal, specifically against the Yankees. I do think it's interesting how the Yankees are lined up against them tonight. And that's another reason why I think it doesn't turn into an offensive style game until later, because the Yankees have Ben Rice and Jazz on the bench and Ryan McMahon on the bench. So whenever they can get Crochet out of the game, that's when the fun begins. But I don't expect anything against Crochet. I did this exercise my own today. Ahmed Rosario, and you guys have talked about it, I think, has some numbers against him. And all the numbers are this year. All 9 at-bats. He's 6 for 9 with a homer and a double. It's all this year, which is relevant. Then you look at something like Cody Bellinger, who's 5 for 14 against him. You think, oh, okay, there's something there. Well, he was 4 for his first 5 against him, but has since gone 1 for his next 9 against him over the last year and a half. So that success came earlier, and Crochet's a different kind of beast now. So take those guys out of the mix. The other 7 Yankees in the lineup tonight, Judge, Stanton, Wells, Goldie, those guys, they hit collectively for their careers 180 against Garrett Crochet with a 54% K rate. Garrett Crochet's K rate for the season was great, 31%. That's elite. 54% is his career K rate against 7 of the 9 Yankees in the starting lineup tonight. I mean, the K numbers are pretty sharp for the postseason, but we saw Skubal blast over it. We saw Williams blast over it. I feel like this one is pretty apparent that number is going to get high for Crochet tonight.
Excellent.
Very good.
Phenomenal. Your level of concern with the Yankees bullpen, which the Yankees were so good down the stretch, but they have all these issues in the bullpen, and if this thing's tight, I mean, I think you got to give a big edge to the Red Sox. What say you?
Yes, I think it's the level of concern I would have for the Yankees bullpen, not only tonight, but for the rest of the postseason, however far they go, is exceedingly high. You can't trust Devin Williams. I mean, look, the Dodgers are in a similar situation with Tanner Scott and Blake Trinan, 2 real tried and true guys who are not good right now. The difference is the Dodgers bullpen that they're going to roll out from now until the end of their run is going to be a completely different group than the bullpen that struggled during the year, because they got Roki Sasaki down there now. They might have Glass now down there. It's different personnel. The Yankees bullpen is what it is. And with the exception of Bednar, if you want to trust the high wire act that has been Devin Williams, and Mark Leiter's been up and down, and Tim Hill for a lefty every once in a while, like that is not a awe-inspiring confidence builder. So that's why I think, again, when the starters come out of this game, that's when you might want to wait and jump in on a live over at that point.
All right. It also sounds like, based on the matchup here, career-wise, Judge against Crochet, like you don't have much faith here in the possible American League MVP to get it going in this game tonight. Yeah, Pauly was making the case to bet everything under. because of his postseason history, and like under 1.5 total bases. I saw as high as minus 150, I believe.
Yeah, the problem with Judge is he's such a freak, and he's the best hitter in the sport. He can get beat 3 straight times, and then he gets jammed on a pitch, and he can hit it out. That's the thing. He's just, to bet on the don't pass line on him, you're really risking it. However, he's faced Garrett Crochet 15 times in his career and struck out 11 times against him. I mean, he is not sniffed. Some of these numbers are insane. Like Austin Wells, 2 for 9, 4 strikeouts. Jose Caballero, 0 for 7, 5 strikeouts. So you're going to pay a tax on Crochet strikeout numbers. I think it was 7.5. That's a big number.
Yep.
But this is the kind of night where it's kind of justified.
Okay, how about the late game? Hunter Green against Snell, and they put up 6.5 on Snell's K prop. The Reds have had a ton of issues against lefties. What do you think tonight? Props and the game is the Reds are nice underdogs.
Yeah, Pauly, I thought when I got up and I saw, because I like to look at where the markets have these things, I saw 6.5 for Blake Snell, and I thought, wait a minute, something's wrong here. His last 3 home starts, he's punched out 8, 11, and 12. Last 3 overall, Snell has 28 strikeouts in his last 19 innings. His home strikeout rate is 2 strikeouts per 9 innings higher than it is on the road. Reds stink against lefties. I thought, what's the rub here? How is this a 6.5? Well, if you look into it, though the Reds don't slug and they don't really hit against lefties, they also don't strike out much. Overall, they've got a strikeout rate that's the 7th lowest in the sport against lefties. It's under 20%. If you look at September alone and you look at the pitch mix that Snell has, and he's 4-seam changeup, curveball, slider, that's what you get with him. So if you boil it down to that, the Reds strikeout rate is even lower. It's just 17%, second lowest in baseball, which I find shocking. I never would have guessed that on the surface. That's probably why whoever wrote that did a nice job, because that 6.5 looks like a sucker bet right now, and it's probably at the right spot. Now, here's the other part of it. Snell's a different animal. Just like we talk about Aaron Judge being a different animal, and you can't really come up with these generalizations with elite generational players like that. It's the same thing with Snell. When he gets going, it's different. And I don't care what the Reds strikeout rate is. They're not going to hit it.
Right.
So, that's why it's a tough thing to advocate one side of or another.
All right, so how about the guy who's opposing him tonight? And it's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Matt Vasgersian, he's going to be on MLB Network later on tonight for these playoff games. Hunter Green's going. He's got incredible strikeout stuff, as we know as well. Like, what do you think it looks like for him with his stuff going against this, the top of the Dodgers lineup, which is just ridiculous?
Yeah, he's interesting tonight because he had a game in late August in Anaheim, and I was there for it, where he struck out 12, and he looked like the best starting pitcher that had ever walked the earth. Then he went to L.A., same road trip, went up the road, and got knocked around. Different thing, right? Angels lineup is not the Dodgers lineup. There's a huge difference there. After that start against the Dodgers, I'm not sure what they were, but apparently he made some, quote, mechanical changes. And his next 4 to end the year were fantastic. I'll say this, he has to be that guy for the Reds to have even a puncher's chance in this series. Since the advent of the wild card round, as I think you guys have probably talked about, 10 of the 12 series have resulted in sweeps.
Yes.
I know it's chalky, but I feel like this is one of them. I don't think the Reds are in the Dodgers class in any category at all. The Dodgers took 5 out of 6 against them during their season series, including beating them up pretty good at Dodger Stadium near the end of the year. I don't know how the Reds flip a switch, and I know anybody can beat anybody in a best 2 out of 3. Every way I look at this, I feel like the Dodgers, first of all, it's all worked according to plan for them, because they didn't necessarily grind to get the best overall record. And Dave Roberts has said this to me personally. They made a mistake chasing franchise and all-time win records when they were doing that a few years ago.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if you win 112 games. Like they fell way under their 102.5 number as a season win total prop. They didn't care about that this year. They didn't care if they had home field or best overall. They didn't care if they had to play a wild card round. They wanted to have the group healthy for this run. So instead of winning 11 as a division winner, now you got to win 13 games. And with this pitching staff healthy and right, and Roki Sasaki is a weapon now. I mean, the fact that this guy's in the bullpen, he's made 4 scoreless appearances. He's faced 14 guys and struck out 7 of them. So they're not going to mess around with the guys that were giving it up in the season when their bullpen was laboring. They got through May, June, July. It was really June, July, part of August with the Robleskis and Sheehan and Kasparius and that B group of starters, and everybody was wringing their hands over Dodgers pitching. That's what they wanted. That now they've got their guys fresh and ready to go. They got Yamamoto. We're going to see Ohtani doing both in the postseason.
That's right.
They're live, and Mookie's hot. Like, I feel like the Dodgers are going to boat race the Reds right out of the building for the next 2 nights.
All right, sit tight, my man. You're the best. Save 40% on our football season special with Follow the Money promo code FTM. Get VSiN Pro access to everything we do across every sport through the Super Bowl. Every best bet, every host, every guest, the betting splits, the betting systems, and the prop analyzer and Pro Tools. Lock it in now. 40% off today. Code FTM, VSiN.com/subscribe.
All right, that was a sensational breakdown, and Matt Vasgersian is going to hang out here for one more segment right there on the Dodgers, because I want to ask him about World Series prices right now. There was a major adjustment on that team earlier today, and it feels like the current price that's available is just too tantalizing to turn down. I want to see if Matt agrees with my assessment on that. Coming up on Follow the Money, it's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
What a time of year. Great day today as we continue here with Matt Vasgersian, MLB Network. He said for him, these 2 days, today, tomorrow, his favorite of the entire year. Can't disagree. It is absolutely outstanding, like every single year, and he is going to be on MLB Network after the Dodgers-Reds game tonight, dissecting that and all of the action from today, and he is still with us here on the Progressive Guest Line. So you had some outstanding analysis on the Dodgers in the previous segment, and here was what I was talking about before the break, Matt. Earlier today, I'm shopping around for prices, and I noticed the Dodgers were like bumped up to like 5-1, and I thought, well, that's because they didn't get the buys. I know they got to go through 3 different teams in the National League, but FanDuel has since adjusted. They were plus 450 earlier today when I was looking. They're 7-1 right now on the Dodgers to win the World Series. Like, what am I missing with that?
Oh, man, I don't get that either. That just feels wrong for whatever reason. Maybe it's because, they're going to get the Phillies next. I mean, we're kind of assuming they're going to get past the Reds here. I know you don't want to cop to that if you're working for the Dodgers or playing for the Dodgers, but I'll go ahead and say it. They're going to get past the Reds. Maybe there's some overbuild of the Phillies there. I don't get it. I mean, again, maybe people are hyper-reacting to the bullpen being as bad as it was. Their bullpen September ERA was almost 5, and only the Nationals and Diamondbacks had a worse bullpen ERA the last month of the season. Maybe there's an overreaction to that, but 7-1 feels pretty generous there. You're never going to find them at that number during the season.
Yeah, this is higher right now than it was at any point going back to like spring training, I think, right?
Yeah. That's really hard to explain, but good for them. Maybe they just want to generate a little heat. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, I just did. I took some of it. So what do you make of some of the paths that these teams have to go through? Like, for example, if we get the Cubs-Brewers and how this could line up for Milwaukee being the 1 seed overall in the National League.
Yeah, if we get Cubs-Brewers, I like the Brewers' chances to get past the Cubs. I was not high on the Cubs at the start of the postseason. We had a game last week on MLB Network when Shota Imanaga pitched against the Mets and got knocked around. And this is 2 straight years where Imanaga has run out of gas at the end of the season and gives up a ton of homers. Without Cade Horton, I didn't think they'd get past San Diego, and here they are on the brink of eliminating the Padres with a win tomorrow. I'll still say I don't understand the Padres lineup today with all the lefties against Matt Boyd, but I guess they just didn't have that options they liked with Laureano hurt. I think the Brewers match up pretty well against the Cubs and smashed them during the regular season. The disrespect for the Brewers, and I'm not sure what kind of futures are out there on the Brewers, it's based on the fact that they don't slug. Their pitching staff is really good. Brandon Woodruff is questionable, but even without him in a short series, in a division series, I'm fine with Quinn Priester taking the ball twice. I'm fine with Freddie Garcia taking the ball twice. Mizorowski kind of scares you a little bit near the end of the season. He hiccuped. Yeah. I'm not sure if he's going to be involved in the postseason pitching plans or not. And because they don't slug, I just think that's why they're, they won more games than any team in the baseball during the regular season. And you have experts that are saying, well, it's a regular season winning roster because they don't slug. I guess I have to respect that. But I'd like to think that they're pretty good at what they do. They're a clean defensive team. In fact, they're an excellent defensive team. They're an excellent base running team. Winning in the margins in the postseason isn't out of the question. I know you'd sure rather lean on Judge and Stanton hitting 3-run homers. Makes you feel better. But the Brewers as a postseason team, they can get past the Cubs. That'd be a pretty fun little ride there.
Yeah. In some spots, the Mariners are the favorites. What do you think of Seattle's chances, and what are you hearing on Wu?
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything more than what's out there right now, which is there's still some uncertainty on his availability. I think it's all based on Wu. Even though, the rest of their starting staff kind of got together near the end of the year, and they had a great September. Let's not discount what they did. It was a softer schedule, granted, got it. But I guess if it boils down to Seattle and the Yankees in the American League, I would still think that the team that slugs a little more, and that's the Yankees. Both teams are very similar. For every Eugenio Suarez, there's an Aaron Judge. Judge is a better overall hitter, but you know what I mean, right? Mm-hmm. Guys that'll strike out and hit the ball over the fence. I think the Yankees are the best team in the American League. I know that's a little chalky thing to say. And they're not even past the Red Sox yet. But if it ends up as New York, Seattle, I think the Yankees have to be written as a pretty strong favorite there.
Yeah. Okay. What if we get Toronto and Seattle then? Toronto would have home field there.
Yeah, Toronto's interesting. First of all, Toronto smashed the Yankees most of the year. And Toronto's part of their secret sauce is they are matchup proof as a lineup. I think they're just as strong with their right-handed hitting group as they are their left-handed hitting group. They hit homers, and they don't strike out. And in the postseason, when you see that being a fatal flaw for so many teams, I thought it was going to be the Tigers' undoing today, as a matter of fact. Their strikeout numbers since the All-Star break are obscene. That's something to look at tomorrow as a prop.
Well, let me stop you right there, because did you not think that the Gavin Williams, I know this is late and after the game, but our show didn't start until it was over with pretty much. You love the Gavin Williams prop today, yeah?
Yeah, 5.5. I thought that was great. And he labored in the first inning. Mm-hmm. He gave up that early run that it was unearned because of the error in right field. He only had one strikeout in the first inning, but it's really a lineup-driven thing. Guys like Dingler, Riley Green, Baez, Torkelson, those guys punch out. And, those are the cards that the manager has to play. You have to play your guys with a little bit of upside. So if there's a strikeout guy that might run into one, he's going to play in the postseason. And that means that if your opposing pitcher, the really weird thing about that, though, was this was only the third time in Major League history where two guys who had their final two starts against the same team faced that same team in their first postseason start.
Wow.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen that way. So you think, man, like lineups have gotten recent good looks at both of these dudes. There should be some runs scored today. There weren't. First of all, I don't know how Cleveland went on the run they went on with the lineup that's running out there. I don't know. John Noel had 3 at-bats today. He looked like he was completely lost. And he's a good player, but the fact that they win with that lineup is startling. It's because they pitch so well. I think they set a Major League record for consecutive starts with 2 or fewer runs allowed. That's how good their staff is. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 2-1 again tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
And outscored on the season. Got to go back to the 87 Twins, last American League team that happened to. What are you hearing now? Anything new on AL MVP?
I think that people are finally listening to the quote, but he's a catcher, end quote, part of the narrative with Raleigh. And I know last time you and I spoke, guys, you were still talking about being able to get Raleigh at somewhere around 3-1 at certain shops. I mean, dude, that number is gone now because he was the favorite last time I looked. And I think if you had to ask me, like, who do you think is going to win MVP? I think Raleigh's going to win it.
Wow.
Aaron Judge put together one of the best hitting seasons in the history of the sport. He wins a batting title with 50-plus homers. I mean, my God, like all the peripherals are there. Every single thing about that says it was a season for the ages. But the big but, Raleigh's involved in every pitch. His team also, is in the playoffs. They won a division, as a matter of fact. He obliterated all these homer records, switch hitters, franchise. I think Raleigh's going to win it, and that's what the market says right now too. Isn't he still the betting favorite? I
think they had to pull it off the board once the regular season concluded, but I think it kind of shifted back to Judge being a small favorite after game 162. One last thing here real quick. I am seeing a number right now for Bobby tomorrow with his K-prop against the Tigers. It's 4.5, but heavily juiced in the $150 range or a little bit more.
4.5 for Bobby. That's interesting because I thought it was going to be. Ciccone goes in game 3, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because he got 4.5 is a pretty good number there. That's interesting. Look at the Tigers' K rates. Look at the personnel that's out there. Gleyber Torres has been really scuffling. If they're big strikeout guys, Dingler, Baez, Green, it's not an if. They'll be in there, especially Green. He's left-handed. He strikes out like crazy as good as he is. 4.5 that's a green light.
Very good. By the way, almost very close, like a couple of inches in 2 different at-bats the last time that you were on. The day that Mike Trout was going for home run number 400, you were on the call and you said, guys, tonight's the night. He had 805 feet of fly balls that did not leave the park.
I know. You know what? I was thinking of our conversation. That's how sick I am with stuff like this. I told you it was going to be the night. And each of those balls that he hit to the wall in center field, I'm like, thank God I was right on Follow the Money. Thank God I got this right for Mitch and Pauly. And the ball dies at the wall. Those were homers in like 20 out of 30 parks.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Great call on the one he hit, though. You're the best.
You're the best, Matt. Thank you. Enjoy the game tonight.
Thanks, guys. See you later.
There you go. You can catch Matt Vasgersian on MLB Network later on after the Dodgers-Reds games tonight. Is Dylan Gabriel starting for the Browns in London on Sunday?
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
All right, a lot to get into here regarding Cleveland sports teams. Browns coming up here momentarily. I think we're going to get some pretty big news regarding their quarterback situation for this weekend's game against the Vikings. That's over in London, where our next guest is going to be for the game as the real T. Rizzo, Cleveland legend from ESPN Cleveland. Tony Rizzo joins us now on the Progressive Guest Line, who was also at the Guardians game today. Man, is this going to end like we all think it's going to end, or all people who live in that great city think it's going to end? They come back, awesome September, win the division, and then here you go. Scooble gets them 14 Ks, and then it's going to be over with before you blink?
Guys, give me a break, okay? Today was... Hold on. You beat Scooble 2 times in 2 weeks. You think you're going to beat him 3 times in 2 weeks? That's not going to happen. Guards will be okay tomorrow. Bivey's got a big start, but I like him. Once they got to the bullpen, that game was winnable tonight. Very winnable. But these teams know each other better than anyone in baseball. And the Guards know Scooble. Give him his credit. My God. I mean, what was it, 13 strikeouts? Yeah. 14. He's 14. He's the real deal.
Yep.
I know you called me about the Browns, Pauly. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So you're reporting this now. That after the loss against Detroit, now you go to London, as you mentioned, to take on a nasty Minnesota defense. It's been weird how they've handled this from the get-go with all these quarterbacks. And what's going to happen here if you got the breaking news on what Cleveland does and you'll be there?
First of all, we're going to London tomorrow. We're expecting Gabriel to be named starter tomorrow. I will say this. There is a divide in the building, per my people. Stefanski would rather start Flacco until the Pittsburgh week, but the GM and Jimmy Haslam want to see the kid. And guys, I want to be honest. I want to see the kid. I love Joe Flacco. 2 years ago, that was magic. But 2 years later, he's older, he's slower, and the offensive line is a lot worse.
Okay.
No tackles. You need a kid that can move. I think they're going to go with Gabriel tomorrow. The big question is, will Shedeur be the backup, or will they let Flacco be the backup for this game? That's the big question.
Well, on top of that, then, if they make this move, and it sounds like you're pretty convinced they're going to do it tomorrow, then does that mean like Flacco's not the dude for the rest of the year? It's going to be one of the young guys as the Yankees just hit a home run?
Probably, but you know how this goes, Mitch. The Browns start 3, 4, 5 quarterbacks a year. So it's all up in the air, but I think they want to see the kid with this offense. Let me say this. I'm a Sanders guy. You know, I can't believe Shedeur, and we'll get into this in a minute.
Yeah.
But this kid has worked really hard, this Gabriel, and he processes fast. They like he was in 3 really good offenses in college. Like, he's got an advanced degree compared to Shedeur coming out of college, just with the offenses he was in compared to the pros. So let's see him. But eventually, I do think you're going to see Sanders as well. And I know there was a lot of talk about Rex Ryan this week and whether Shedeur is paying attention and all. I think at some point Shedeur is going to get a chance to play, and we'll see if he's prepared or not.
Okay, well, address that then, because he had a good preseason. There was hype. You know, it looked like the GM didn't want to draft him, and it was a Haslam thing when they put the camera on him on draft day. You reported that Zappy's running the scout team. What the hell's going on then?
Here's the deal. They're splitting scout team depending on who the opponent is. So it's not all Shedeur, it's not all Zappy. But the Browns they want it out there that the kid's getting, 8 to 10 reps at the end of practice. Guys, listen, if you commit to a guy, you commit to a guy. The Browns haven't committed. They're not committed to Sanders. They're more committed to Gabriel. They drafted him ahead of Sanders. And they committed to Flacco for 4 games. The offense is terrible. They're averaging 14 points. Time to make a change.
Against the Minnesota defense?
Yeah.
But Mitch, the Steelers are the next week. You played look at the Browns' first 4 games. I can't believe they won a game against the Packers, by the way. Yeah. Shame on the Packers. My God, that was, my Lord, that, my God, But this is a mess, and I think the Browns still draft a quarterback next year.
Oh, my God.
I do, Paul. That's why they have 2 number 1s, Pauly.
Well, even though the badge of quarterback.
Set it up. That's why they traded down for Mason Graham. Yes, Paul.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Bet the under. Bet the team total under. I don't know. If this kid starts, who knows? He might give him a spark for a week or 2. But everybody kind of thinks Dylan Gabriel is going to be a backup quarterback in the league going forward. So the next big thing is to see Shedeur Sanders. That's what everybody wants to see.
Everybody
and I have to admit, guys, they have not developed him. Like, he's a 5th-round draft pick, 3rd on the depth chart.
Right.
Is that development? Come on.
God, what a circus. Let me ask you this. If I decided to fly into Cleveland this weekend, right, how long would it take for me to feel the pain and the sadness of that city after I land?
Mitch, since Bernie Kosar, I haven't had a franchise quarterback. Now, Baker, that's another, guys, by the way, Baker's success in Tampa is a whole nother lightning rod in this town right now. But we really haven't had a franchise quarterback. It's painful. By the way, let me say this, Pauly, Mitch, Deshaun Watson is eligible to be practicing as of this week. So there's some window where they would activate him or whatever. He's on the roster. There are some people who think if it got down to that, he could start a game this year. Could you imagine?
Oh, no.
What?
Yes. Yes.
So what are we going to do? We're going to go from Flacco to Gabriel to Sanders to Watson?
That would be the progression, Mitch.
And then
yes,
so then they drafted a quarterback in the 1st round next year, and then whose team is it?
Mitch, You're asking me to predict what the Browns do? Guys, this is my life. This is my livelihood. I can't do it. I've done this going on my 40th year. Cannot predict what they're going to do. So here's what my guys tell me. The room is split. Stefanski wants to stay with Flacco, and Barry and Haslam want to go with Dylan Gabriel. So we'll see tomorrow who wins in that. Okay? That's where we're at. That's a boots on the ground stuff, inside information.
Yeah, great show. Yes, incredible. Okay. You've been with the organization forever. I thought that is this the worst trade in the history of sports?
Oh,
how much they gave Watson? What happened?
Not even close. Imagine the Browns. By the way, the Browns, I'll give Barry credit. They have a great rookie class.
They did.
Rookie class.
Yes.
Oh, God, they're phenomenal. They have 4 or 5 kids contributing. Well, it's about time. He has 1 Pro Bowler in 6 drafts. J.O.K. Still has his job. 1 Pro Bowler in 6 drafts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so if they're going to run it all the way back next year, let me give you some of these names that we're looking at quarterback, Tony, and we're talking to Tony Rizzo, ESPN Cleveland here on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, that they could take in the first round next year. Do you want to take Fernando Mendoza out of Indiana? What does Lenore Sellers do for you? Yeah. Garrett Nussmeier? John Mateer? Dante Moore from Oregon? You want Drew Aller? You want Arch Manning? You want Ty Simpson? What are they going to take? One of those quarterbacks in the top 3, top 4 next year in the draft?
Just our luck, Mitch. Just our luck. It was supposed to be. It was supposed to be the draft from the gods. What was it, 83, Marino? And all.
Yes.
Right? Remember? Oh, my God, we were there. I was there, kids. Just our luck. Yeah, they don't look like there's a couple options. Mitch, everybody's so the one thing that I would say that the Browns are looking forward to, maybe they don't have to be in the top 3 to get the quarterback they want. You know, Jackson Dart, I don't know. Guys, all I know is it's been since 1999, and we still don't have the quarterback figured out, okay?
Yep.
You know, and it's the despair here in Cleveland with Browns fans it's in an all-time high. It really is.
I can't even imagine what it's like there for fans who go to like a bar on Sundays to watch games to get a couple of drinks in them.
Oh, Mitch. Oh. And God love them. Mitch, I get people. I'm taking 300 people to London tomorrow to go watch the Browns. We sold out a trip to go to London. We're 1-3. The Vikings are a good team. We're going to go 300 people strong. God love Browns fans. They're the best in the NFL. Never been to a Super Bowl. Still support the team. You're a Steeler fan. You won 6 Super Bowls. Come on, stop. You're a Browns fan? You're still a fan? Fantastic.
Absolutely. I met a bunch of them when you were out. We'll see you in late November when the Browns come here.
Oh, no, I'll be there. Is it F1, guys? Tell me no. Please tell me no, it's not F1 that week.
Mitch, I don't know. Got to check the dates.
You might be running into it.
It's F1, guys. Yeah. Thanks, the Browns play F1 is Saturday. The Browns play Sunday. I can't get across the strip.
Well, send a limo. Don't worry about it. You're the best. Oh, my God. He's right. Since 99. Remember the jerseys with all the different quarterbacks that drafted?
The fans deserve a winner.
Yes,
the ownership group. I'm not so sure.
No.
In Pocket Place coming up here on VSiN. He's just spitballing the whole time.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're on.
All right. That was great talking to Rizzo. What a mess going on with Cleveland. We'll run down the starting quarterbacks going back to 99. Volpe goes deep. 1-0 Yankees. Bottom of the 30 was 9-1. To hit a home run. Fields over rushing yards, piece of cake. What a run that was on a touchdown. Busted.
Magnificent.
Oh, 4th and 1, it was dead. And around takes it off to the left, and away we go. Bo Nix over longest rush, didn't get there, and Ollie Gordon anytime touchdown, and kicking myself for not having Waller. after what we talked about, that McDaniel loves him and all his comments, and was focused on Gordon. Damn. Rams lane 3 against the Niners. That is big time on the move. Could be coming back now. Purdy said he's feeling a little bit better.
Yeah, it's not going to come back too much, I don't think.
Yeah, okay. Seattle lane 3 against Tampa. Tigers to win the series against the Guards. And Monday night, Chiefs money line against Jacksonville. The new plays, I got to go. Is it going to be Kittredge? I thought it was going to be Imanaga. Anyways, it's a fade of Dylan Cease. And also the Padres, who were awful on the road this year. 10 games under 500 against playoff teams, outscored by 47 runs. 4 bleeping hits today against Boyd.
Boyd, who was not good down the stretch.
No, exactly. So their season's over. And they're going to lose tomorrow, and they're going to fly the W again. And I think I'm with Rizzo. I think the Guardians get it done. Bybee $1.20 against Mize. Total of 7. And I know it's been almost all sweeps here since this new format. The best of 3. 10 of the 12 series have been sweeps. I think we'll see a game 3 with Cleveland and Detroit.
Good luck, Pauly. Had Fields over last night, longest rush of 13.5.
Yeah. He
got that done in the first drive. I think it was a 19-yarder, and then he had that 40-yard. That's something to keep in mind, obviously, and file away, is that, it's maybe a little obvious here, too, but his longest rush, man, he loves to take off, and I kind of like him. I really do. If that team had a defense whatsoever, I don't think the Jets would be that bad. Like, they have guys to actually get it going and make it work on offense. The defense sucks.
Yeah.
And I'm not so sure, Aaron Glenn's going to be the right guy for the job. And how many times are they going to go defensive coordinator in a row?
Yes.
Right?
Rex Ryan, Salah, Glenn. Although the Gase thing was a disaster.
Oh, that's as bad as it gets. The pending Crochet to win the Cy Young 12-1. That was the final days of the regular season, and I have the Saints pick them against the Giants coming up Sunday in Week 5. The new plays, had to do it. I estimated what the series prices would be beyond this one with the Reds, and I came up with plus 630 if you do a rollover parlay. So the 7-1 right now on FanDuel, this is actually, to me, I think it's a better number that you're going to get. Plus, you got to like the way that it's set up for them. I love that Vasgersian had a ton of great stuff earlier this hour. If you missed it, you can always go back and listen to the Follow the Money podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.
Damn right.
FanDuel has 7-1 right now, the Dodgers, to win it. That's higher than it's been the entire year. So, I'm on Blake Snell tonight, over 6.5 Ks, minus 105.
Give me the middle one.
Well, hold on, because, again, I'm betting this a lot. A lot of it has to do with the K-Prop projection on vsin.com. They love his number tonight over. They're projecting him for 8.5 Ks in this game tonight. And here you go. Talked about this to begin the show. Got to do it. So let me run this down for you on Darren Waller. He was, to remember now, he retired from the sport. He tried to give rapping a go. He was out. He was done. He moved from the Raiders to the Giants, called it quits. He got divorced. More on that in a second. But if
what would your rap name be?
I've never thought about that. What is yours?
Yeah. Papa Chubby.
Papa Chubby. Well, you got that from where?
I made it up.
Oh, you made it up?
I used to be a portly fellow. You get that? Yeah.
Oh, is that where it ties into?
Papa Chubby.
So, he was featured on an episode of Hard Knocks.
Yes.
So this all ties in, and I hate the Comeback Player of the Year award. I really do. But if there has ever been an example of a guy who's going to be a good candidate, this is him. If you go back to his days with the Raiders on Hard Knocks, explained his struggle with substance abuse. He was abusing Oxy at the age of 15. He then, not that long ago, married Kelsey Plum, who played for the Las Vegas Aces. They were divorced after being married for about a year. He was traded, and he caught a viral infection in November of 2023. He was hospitalized. He was unable to stand up or feed himself. There was a great Men's Health story recapping what it's been like during this stretch. And in that same story, his quote was, "I was looking at my marriage to Kelsey through the eyes of other people, how it made me look. Who would turn down somebody with her resume? But then I was traded to the Giants, and it exposed everything that was going on within me. It put me back in the space of feeling isolated, I didn't know people in New York, so I retreated back to my old habits. Again, fell off the wagon, retired, he's back. You explain who's got a better case than that if he puts together a good season. And I'll cap it off with this. Last year, the tight end for the Dolphins, who is no longer there, Jonnu Smith, 88 catches on 111 targets for 884 yards. He had 8 touchdowns. And a lot of this came with Tyreek Hill. Hill played in all these games, 6 for 101 and 2 touchdowns against the Raiders, 9 for 87 and a touchdown against New England, 10 for $113 in a loss to the Packers. He scored 4 touchdowns in his final 5 games. He was targeted double-digit times 4 games down the stretch. There's no more Tyreek Hill. And to your point on the show yesterday in primetime, McDaniel couldn't stop talking about the guy.
Yeah.
And they got it going with him last night with the 2 touchdowns. I mean,
what a red zone weapon.
No kidding.
Throw it up to him.
So the bet is Darren Waller, comeback player of the year, 40-1.
Yes. Love it. Excellent. Uh-oh. No, I thought Judge got it. Pop up.
Boy, oh boy.
Well, the crowd went nuts behind him. That's what I was reacting to. The whole crowd stood up.
I'm doing a show with John Sterling here.
It is high. It is high.
It is gone.
Yeah. G-Bank's built with
Hold on
sports
here.
bettors in mind. Right now, earn a $50 cashback reward bonus once you're approved and your account is open with the G-Bank Visa Signature Card. Most credit cards treat sportsbooks and gaming transactions as cash advances, even when it's your own money. G-Bank treats them as regular purchases. No cash advance fees. You save up to 3 to 5% on every deposit. You earn 1% cash back on all eligible sportsbooks and gaming transactions. 2% cash back on everything else you buy. Apply now, visa.com/GBank. Mitch Moss. All 3 games have been 1-0 at the end of 3. See if it continues with the Reds and the Dodgers. This is awesome. And I have the list. Poor Cleveland, poor...
Before you get into that, can I give some tweets that we got here?
Oh, yeah, sure.
What an hour with Vasgersian back-to-back with Rizzo.
That's so fun.
This is from TK, says A-plus spot from the real T Rizzo. Nails it for Cleveland fans. Yeah. Dell, who's been on the show before in New Jersey, says number 1 followed the money guess by a long shot. He loves Rizzo.
He's awesome.
And this is from me. And when I asked him how long would it take for me if I caught a flight to Cleveland to feel the pain and the sadness of the city once I landed, Ian says, when you land, you can feel the sadness entering Ohio airspace above Cleveland. That's what I wanted Rizzo to say.
Yeah. From 1999 through last year, they've had 40 players start at quarterback. Only 3 seasons. Yeah, Tim Couch and Mayfield were the same quarterback that started every game. Boy, the list here. Couch, Detmer, Peterson, Spurgeon, Wynn, Garcia, Luke McCown, Trent Dilfer, Charlie Fry, Derek Anderson, drafted Brady Quinn, bust, Dorsey, Gradkowski, Delhomme, Colt McCoy, Seneca Wallace, drafted Brandon Whedon, bust, Lewis, Thad Lewis, Jason Campbell, Brian Hoyer, drafted Johnny Football, bust, Kessler, RG3, McCown, Deshaun Kaiser, didn't win a game, Baker, number 1 pick, we know what happened, now he's rejuvenated, Case Keenum, Nick Mullins, Jacoby Brissett, Watson fiasco, 2023, Watson, Flacco, DTR, PJ Walker, Driscoll's all started. Last year, Winston, Watson, DTR, Zappy.
Unreal.
And now he's talking about they could go Watson Sanders,
can come back and play.
Gabriel, all play, and then they're going to draft a kid.
You know who was one of the best quarterbacks on that list was Derek Anderson.
Yeah, I thought he took him to the playoffs.
Yeah, that year
was
with
Holcomb. That was Holcomb. Maybe, I don't know.
That year with Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon had 87 for 1646 and 9 touchdowns in 2013.
Missed some games, too, didn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. He played only 14. And I remember after that because it's like, oh, my God, Josh Gordon, you have to have him in fantasy. And every year people were making the case, got to have him, got to take a shot with him. Even when he played for like the Patriots beyond that, and he never had a season, anything close to that. But it's like, hey, here's some promise.
Yeah.
Nah, never mind. It was a 1-year fluke. That was it.
God,
he just spitballed.
Can you believe
this?
this?
It's like...
I know, but Watson, Manziel, Baker, Couch,
it almost
Whedon,
feels like it's made up.
Brady Quinn.
That's how bad it's
One
been.
of these guys had to be
And then they let go of Mayfield, and here you go.
That's right.
Prime time next. 4 great hours. Enjoy the games tonight. Good luck with the bets. We'll see you.